Hi everyone, my name is Ximena Torres and I'm a journalist. I work in Sonadox, that it's an independent medium in Jalisco. And there we work with a human rights and a feminism perspective. So I have had the chance to cover topics like the defense of the territory and life with a gender perspective. Some of the topics and the events that I have had the chance to cover are the Encuentro Nacional de Mujeres por el Territorio Frente al Extractivismo in 2019 and other local projects like the Mercadito Solidario Flor de Luna. And also other of my colleagues had covered also the fights in Temacapulín, Acacico y Palmarejo against the Zapotillo Dam and other things about ecofeminism. Of these experiences, the most important things that I have learned is that the defense of the territory is the defense of the life. People don't just fight for a piece of land, they're fighting for the things that they have built for years and generations. Their heritage, their customs and traditions, and simply their lives. That's why the topic is so important and journalists should pay attention to it. I've also learned that the defense of the life and territory may be two different reasons. For example, in the Encuentro Nacional de Mujeres that I mentioned some minutes ago, most of women fought against extractivism, projects that the Mexican government developed promising progress, but what a cost? Entire communities that are displaced or tortured and murdered if they resist. On the other side, there are communities that resist international industries or agrotoxics, just like the case of the Mercadito Solidario Flor de Luna. Taking in consideration that all these fights are dangerous, especially in this context of a violent country like Mexico is, we as journalists and other communicators have the responsibility to investigate and report the human rights violations that are committed in the process of this defense. I have to accept that working on this topic as journalist is not the easiest thing to do because those who pretend to strip the territory use complex legal mechanisms to defend their interests. In that sense, we have to investigate and be very meticulous with the laws and norms that are related to the strips and to the defense. The information may be hidden sometimes because governments normally are partners of the industries that are interested in the territory, or worse, they are the human rights violators directly. However, we should be close to the communities who fight. Most of the times, they, as the main interested and affected people, have turned into experts. They have become their own lawyers, investigators, scientists, and they can give us almost all the clues that we need for our job. And that takes me to the next reflection. Communicators and journalists should conceive them as actors with a great action capacity. We can give their demands a complementary way out through our readers, but we are not necessarily their voice because they are capable of organization and have a great scope. The thing that we actually can do is take the issue or the problem that they are struggling through to the conversation of other people and to the public agenda. And about this context of COVID-19, the topic of the defense of the territory and the life have always been important, but now with the crisis, the health crisis, it is urgent. Contrary to what we thought at the beginning of the pandemic, all the other crises and inequalities have deepened. Weeks ago, already during the crisis, I had the opportunity of writing and telling the story of the Mercadito Solidario Flor de Luna, located here in Guadalajara. And a problem that they had is that the farmers that participate in the Mercadito have experienced difficulties to bring their products to the town because their transport network stopped, like most of the activities during the lockdown. Difficulties like that may weaken the capacity of the collaborators to resist to agrotoxics and big industries that wander lands, because the modifications in the process may imply economical and effort costs. For example, there are some farmer families here in the zona metropolitana de Guadalajara who harvest tomato and other vegetables. They are fighting against the urbanization of their lands years ago. But now, if they don't have the capacity to take their products to the mercadito to sell them, they won't have the economic incomes that normally they have. And that inevitably affects the resources that they have to fight and even to survive. That's why I consider, and I think that other of my colleagues in Sonadocs do too. That's why we consider that we should not allow that the health crisis eclipse these problems, because human rights violations surround these topics keep happening, and we should be aware of them. We should continue demanding to the government to give us the tools for having a life with dignity in every aspect. I think that those are my main reflections about this topic of communication and defense of life and territory. But if you're interested in reading more about it, you can find my colleague's work and mine in the website www.sonadocs.mx. Thank you for listening and bye.